the Sahara Desert, the largest hot desert on Earth, a place we now see as endless sand, burning sun, and lifeless horizons. But what if this wasn't always true? What if this vast desert was once green, filled with rivers, forests, and thriving wildlife? A place where elephants once walked, and humans lived beside lakes that no longer exist today. So what changed? And how did one of the greenest regions on Earth become the harsh desert we know today? Between about 11,000 and 5,000 years ago, the Sahara experienced what scientists call the African Humid Period. During this time, the region was transformed into a thriving landscape of grasslands, rivers, and large lakes. Evidence of this greener past comes from ancient rock art scattered across the desert. These carvings depict animals like hippos, crocodiles, and cattle, species that require abundant water. These weren't isolated oases. We're talking about a widespread ecosystem, supporting both wildlife and human populations. So what made the Sahara green? The answer lies not on Earth alone, but in space. Earth doesn't orbit the Sun in a perfectly stable way. Its axis wobbles over thousands of years in a cycle known as precession. This subtle shift changes how sunlight is distributed across the planet. Around 10,000 years ago, this wobble caused the northern hemisphere to receive more intense summer sunlight. As a result, land areas heated up more strongly. This heating strengthened the African monsoon, a seasonal wind system that brings moisture from the Atlantic Ocean deep into the continent. With a stronger monsoon, rainfall increased dramatically. Areas that are now desert received regular seasonal rains. With water came life. Early human societies flourished, hunting, fishing, and eventually herding animals. Lakes formed across the region, some of them massive, rivaling today's largest freshwater bodies. One such lake, known as Mega Chad, once covered an area larger than modern-day Germany. But this green paradise didn't last. Around 5,000 years ago, the climate began to shift again. As Earth's orbital cycle continued, the northern hemisphere began receiving less summer sunlight. The land cooled, weakening the monsoon system. Rainfall declined. Lakes began to shrink. Vegetation disappeared. What's surprising is how quickly this transformation happened. For years, scientists believed the Sahara dried out gradually. But newer evidence suggests the shift may have been abrupt, in some areas occurring over just a few centuries. It wasn't a slow fade, it was more like a tipping point. Once vegetation declined, the land reflected more sunlight, reducing rainfall even further. This created a feedback loop. Less vegetation led to less rain, which led to even less vegetation. As the land dried, human populations were forced to adapt. Some migrated toward more stable water sources, like the Nile Valley, where early civilizations would later emerge. The changing climate didn't just reshape the landscape, it reshaped human history. The story of the Sahara is more than a glimpse into the past. It's a powerful reminder of how sensitive Earth's climate system can be. Small changes in solar energy triggered massive environmental transformations, turning a green landscape into one of the harshest deserts on Earth. Beneath the sands of the Sahara lies the memory of rivers, forests, and life. A hidden history written in stone, waiting to be uncovered. And as we face our own changing climate, the Sahara's story reminds us, Earth is always evolving. The question is, how fast and what role we play in it.